Before we enter this life, our journey begins in realms unseen. In these higher planes, our soul carefully chooses the circumstances of our next incarnation. Nothing about your life, including the person you marry, is random. From a spiritual perspective, every significant relationship is part of a sacred agreement, often referred to as a soul contract. These contracts are not made with our conscious mind, but with the deepest essence of who we truly are, beyond time and space. Before taking human form, your soul meets with other souls to plan experiences that will lead to growth, healing, and the fulfillment of divine purpose. Among the most profound of these agreements are those involving love and marriage. A spouse is not simply a companion. They are often a catalyst for transformation. The union you experience in the physical world reflects choices made on a spiritual level long before you were born. Some souls agree to come together to teach each other lessons of compassion, forgiveness, and strength. Others come together to heal ancient wounds that may have been created in previous lifetimes. In this way, a marriage becomes much more than a social or legal bond. It is a spiritual classroom, a sacred space where hidden patterns of the soul emerge and evolve. These agreements are made with complete awareness of the challenges ahead. Before incarnating, your soul knows the exact dynamics it will face, the joys, the struggles, even the heartbreaks. This is not punishment, nor is it destiny in the sense of being powerless. Instead, it is a conscious choice made by your higher self to experience life as a pathway to enlightenment. What may seem like a coincidence or mere attraction in the physical world is actually a carefully designed meeting of two spirits, perfectly aligned for mutual growth. The soul contract is not always easy to understand while living in the physical realm. At times, you may question why you feel so strongly drawn to someone, even when the relationship seems difficult or even painful. This is often the sign of a deeper spiritual connection, a connection designed to reveal aspects of yourself that you could not access alone. These intense bonds can awaken dormant qualities within you, bringing to light both your greatest strengths and your deepest wounds. Understanding that your marriage is part of a pre-birth agreement changes how you perceive its challenges. Instead of viewing difficulties as personal failures or random misfortunes, you begin to see them as opportunities for evolution. This perspective allows you to step back and ask, what is my soul trying to learn through this experience? In doing so, you shift from blame and resentment to responsibility and inner growth. This teaching was emphasized by Edgar, who described how souls gather before birth to set intentions for their next life. According to this wisdom, every major relationship is woven into a divine tapestry of learning. Even when two souls seem to clash, there is an underlying harmony guiding their journey together. The conflicts and joys you experience are like notes in a song that your soul composed before you even took your first breath. Marriage, in this sense, becomes a sacred mirror of the soul's path. It reflects back to you the lessons you most need to integrate, whether they involve patience, courage, trust, or unconditional love. When seen through this spiritual lens, no marriage is ever meaningless. Each union is a bridge between worlds, the visible and the invisible, the past and the future, the human and the divine. By acknowledging the existence of these soul contracts, you begin to awaken to the greater purpose of your relationships. You realize that the person beside you is not there by accident, but by profound spiritual design. This awareness brings a sense of reverence and responsibility to your marriage, transforming it from a mere human partnership into a divine collaboration. Every relationship in your life serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you the parts of yourself that are often hidden or unacknowledged. This is especially true in marriage, where the bond is deeper and more intimate. The person you marry is not merely a companion. They are often the clearest reflection of your inner world. Through them, you see both the beauty and the shadows of your soul. On the spiritual path, nothing is random. The qualities you notice most strongly in your partner, whether they inspire love or trigger frustration, are often aspects of yourself that your soul is calling you to recognize. If your partner's kindness touches you deeply, it may be awakening your own capacity for compassion. If their behavior causes pain or anger, it may be pointing to wounds or patterns within you that require healing. In this way, marriage becomes a sacred spiritual tool, bringing to the surface what must be seen and transformed. When two souls come together, they do not just share a home or a life, they share their deepest energies. These energies interact like mirrors facing one another, amplifying what is present within each person. This is why marriages can feel so intense. The closeness of the bond magnifies both love and conflict. What you admire in your partner can inspire you to grow, while what you resist can reveal where you are still trapped in fear or pain. Many people mistakenly believe that challenges in marriage mean the relationship is failing. From a spiritual perspective, however, difficulties are not signs of failure, but invitations to evolve. Your partner's actions and words often bring buried emotions to the surface, emotions you might have ignored if you were alone. These moments of discomfort are opportunities for profound growth, as they reveal where healing is needed within your soul. Consider how certain recurring arguments seem to repeat, no matter how many times they are addressed. This repetition is not random. It signals that a deeper pattern is at play, one rooted in your soul's journey. For instance, if you often feel abandoned or unheard, the relationship may be mirroring unresolved pain from childhood or even from past lives. Your partner's role is not to fix these wounds, but to reflect them so you can finally see and heal them. Marriage also reveals the parts of yourself you may have denied or suppressed. Perhaps you see in your partner a boldness or confidence you wish you had, or perhaps you are triggered by their sensitivity because you were taught to hide your own vulnerability. In both cases, your soul is showing you the full spectrum of who you are through the mirror of your partner. The relationship becomes a living classroom, teaching lessons about self-acceptance and wholeness. From a spiritual perspective, love is never about control or possession. It is about awakening. When you approach marriage as a spiritual mirror, you stop trying to change your partner and instead focus on what the reflection reveals within you. This shift in perspective brings empowerment. Instead of blaming your spouse for your suffering, you begin to see how the relationship is guiding you towards self-realization. This does not mean tolerating harm or staying in relationships that are unhealthy. Boundaries are also spiritual. Sometimes the lesson is to leave, to stand in your truth, or to release a pattern of self-sacrifice. What matters most is awareness, recognizing the spiritual dynamics at play so that every choice you make is aligned with your soul's growth. The power of marriage as a mirror lies in its ability to reveal what words alone cannot. A partner's gaze, tone, or even silence can awaken memories and emotions buried deep within your being. These moments are not meant to be comfortable. They are meant to be transformative. When faced with discomfort, you are given a choice: to react from ego or to respond from the higher self. Each choice either reinforces old patterns or creates space for new ways of being. When you embrace marriage as a spiritual mirror, you open the door to profound healing. You realize that your partner is not your enemy or savior, but a reflection of your own journey. Through this reflection, you are given the chance to see yourself clearly, perhaps for the first time. And in that clarity, love begins to take on its truest form. A force that liberates rather than binds, that awakens rather than limits. The bond of marriage often extends far beyond this single lifetime. What you experience with your partner today may be the continuation of a story that began many incarnations ago. In the spiritual realms, nothing is lost, and no action goes without consequence. The joys, pains, betrayals, and acts of love from past lives leave energetic imprints on the soul. When two souls come together in marriage, they often bring with them these old imprints, which manifest as what we call karmic ties. Karma is not punishment, nor is it reward in the way the human mind usually understands. Karma is balance. It is the universal law of cause and effect operating on the level of the soul. When a soul has caused harm or imbalance in another lifetime, it may choose to return in a new incarnation to set things right. Similarly, acts of deep love and selflessness also ripple through time, drawing two souls back together to continue their shared journey. Marriage is one of the most profound ways these karmic threads reveal themselves. When you meet someone and feel an instant, unexplainable connection, it is often because your souls have known each other before. This familiarity can feel like destiny, but it is, in truth, the result of past experiences seeking resolution. These past life dynamics, can express themselves as either blessings or challenges in the present relationship. Sometimes, a marriage comes as a reward, a reunion of two souls who have grown through many lifetimes of shared love and trust. These relationships carry a sense of harmony and natural flow, as if the two people have always been connected. The ease you feel with such a partner is not accidental. It is the fruit of spiritual work completed long ago. In these unions, marriage becomes a sanctuary, a place where love deepens and expands, serving not only the couple, but also the greater world. Other times, a marriage forms because of unresolved debts. If there was betrayal, abandonment, or harm in a past life, the souls involved may return together to heal that wound. This type of marriage often feels more intense and turbulent. The relationship may be marked by conflict, mistrust, or recurring patterns of pain. From a human perspective, this can seem like misfortune or bad luck, but from the soul's perspective, it is a profound opportunity for redemption and transformation. Imagine two souls who once hurt each other deeply. In this life, they may return as husband and wife, not to repeat the pain, but to heal it. The challenges they face together are like tests, offering them the chance to choose love over fear, forgiveness over resentment. Each moment of understanding and compassion they share dissolves old karma and creates new pathways of harmony. In this way, even the most difficult marriages can serve a sacred purpose. This understanding brings a new depth to the idea of commitment. When viewed through the lens of karma, staying in a marriage is not merely about social duty or personal comfort. It becomes an act of spiritual responsibility. This does not mean enduring suffering blindly, but rather engaging consciously with the lessons the relationship presents. Whether you stay or leave, the key is to act from awareness rather than reaction, so that the karmic cycle can finally be completed. The recognition of past life bonds also explains why certain dynamics in marriage feel so much larger than the present circumstances. Perhaps you find yourself overreacting to small disagreements or feeling an overwhelming emotional pull toward your partner. These intense responses are often echoes from the past. Your soul remembers experiences your conscious mind has forgotten. Through marriage, these memories rise to the surface, giving you the chance to heal them once and for all. As you navigate these karmic patterns, it is essential to cultivate compassion for yourself and for your partner. You are both souls walking a path that spans lifetimes, each carrying unseen histories and unseen pain. When you meet in this life, you are continuing a dance that began long ago. By choosing forgiveness and understanding, you break free from old cycles and create space for new possibilities. Marriage, then, becomes a bridge between past and present, between what was and what can be. It is a sacred meeting place where karma is balanced, debts are repaid, and love is renewed. Even when a marriage ends, the spiritual work accomplished within it remains. The lessons learned are carried forward, enriching not only this lifetime, but the soul's eternal journey. One of the greatest sources of confusion on the spiritual path of relationships is the difference between karmic attraction and the connection of true soulmates. At first glance, both can feel powerful and magnetic, even overwhelming. You may meet someone and feel as if you have known them forever, as though destiny itself has brought you together. Yet not all powerful attractions are rooted in divine harmony. Sometimes what draws you to a person is not pure love, but unresolved karma-seeking balance. Karmic attraction is often intense and urgent. It can feel like a force beyond your control, pulling you towards someone even when your rational mind sees warning signs. This type of bond tends to be emotionally charged, marked by extremes of passion and conflict. It may begin with overwhelming chemistry and connection, only to shift into cycles of misunderstanding, jealousy, or pain. The reason for this volatility is simple. Karma is not about comfort, it is about growth. The soul recognizes an opportunity to heal old wounds and therefore creates a pull toward the very person who can trigger those wounds to the surface. When you find yourself repeatedly drawn to the same types of partners, people who evoke similar patterns of joy and suffering, this is a sign of an active karmic cycle. The souls involved are attempting to resolve unfinished business. Until the lesson is learned, the pattern will continue, often becoming more intense with each repetition. These relationships are like spiritual mirrors reflecting back the areas where you most need healing and transformation. In contrast, true soulmate love feels different. While it may also carry a sense of familiarity and connection, it is not driven by urgency or drama. Instead, it brings a deep sense of peace and alignment. Soulmate relationships are not free of challenges. No relationship is. But the challenges are approached with mutual respect, kindness, and a shared desire to grow together. There is a sense of harmony rather than chaos, and even difficulties feel purposeful rather than destructive. The difference lies in the energy. Karmic attraction often feels like a storm, unpredictable, consuming, and difficult to navigate. Soulmate love feels like a calm ocean, expansive, steady, and nurturing. In karmic bonds, fear and attachment are dominant. In soulmate bonds, love and freedom are the guiding forces. Understanding this distinction is crucial because many people mistake karmic intensity for true love, only to find themselves trapped in cycles of suffering. Recognizing the nature of your bond requires deep self-awareness. Ask yourself, does this relationship make me feel more whole or more fragmented? Do I feel safe to be my authentic self? Or am I constantly walking on emotional eggshells? Is the energy between us one of mutual growth, or am I repeating old wounds in new forms? Honest reflection on these questions can reveal whether you are experiencing karmic attraction or a soulmate connection. When you see that a relationship is karmic, it does not mean it is unworthy or meaningless. On the contrary, these bonds are among the most powerful teachers your soul can encounter. Their purpose is to bring hidden wounds to the surface so they can be healed. The key is to engage consciously. Instead of getting lost in blame or drama, use the relationship as a tool for self-discovery. Each conflict becomes a doorway to greater understanding. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to break free from old patterns. However, there comes a time when a karmic relationship may reach its natural conclusion. Once the lesson has been learned, holding on out of fear or attachment only creates more suffering. Releasing such a bond with gratitude allows both souls to continue their journeys without further entanglement. Letting go does not erase the love or the shared history. It simply honors the truth that growth sometimes requires separation. For those who are fortunate to encounter a soulmate, the relationship becomes a sanctuary for spiritual expansion. Together, you and your partner co-create a space where love flows freely and growth happens naturally. This type of marriage does not bind or limit, but instead uplifts and liberates. It serves not only the two individuals involved, but also the world, as the energy of true love radiates outward, touching all who come into contact with it. To move from karmic cycles to soulmate love, one must first cultivate inner healing. The outer relationship is always a reflection of the inner state. As you release old wounds, forgive past hurts, and embrace your true self, you naturally attract partners who align with your higher vibration. In this way, spiritual growth becomes the foundation for conscious, awakened love. Ultimately, marriage, whether karmic or soulmate, is part of the soul's greater journey. Even the most painful unions carry sacred purpose. Through awareness, forgiveness, and conscious action, you can transform marriage from a source of suffering into a pathway of liberation. In doing so, you free yourself and your partner from ancient patterns, opening the way for love to express itself in its highest form, unconditional, eternal, and divine. If you found these insights meaningful, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment sharing your thoughts and experiences. Your journey and voice matter. Let's grow together.